Have you ever wondered where the water goes after you flush your toilet? The water industry is a vast network of millions of people working together to remove and clean that water.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates that there will be over 10,000 openings per year over the next decade in the water and wastewater industry. There is a spot for you.
Every day, the United States treats 34 billion gallons of wastewater at more than 16,000 wastewater treatment plants around the country. In 2016, nearly 1.7 million workers were directly involved in designing, constructing, operating, and governing U.S. water infrastructure. Entering the water workforce can mean a variety of things with vastly different day to day. For instance, the Brookings Institute defines over 212 different occupations within the water workforce, and they carry out an enormous range of activities.
These plants don't run themselves, they don't build themselves. The challenges of marrying all this technology in these facilities and infrastructure is really fascinating. And then at the same time, you have this interface with, especially the general public who has a real limited knowledge of what we do, and we're all working on that a lot. But just explaining why this is so important and why the money that they're investing is quite literally saving lives is a really interesting challenge. My name is Mickey Conway. I'm the CEO of Metro Water Recovery. Metro is the largest water recovery and resource recovery facility in the Front Range, meaning, we handle wastewater that comes from businesses and homes after it's been used, and then we clean it, recover resources from it, and put that water back into the South Platte River at a couple of different locations, one just north of Denver in Commerce City and one up in Brighton. So we're the largest wastewater treatment provider in the region, and really proud of the work that we do.
I think it's really real world and you get to see, uh, your design come to life and that type of thing. I would imagine on the, civil process side, it's kind of similar in that aspect. Um, I wouldn't say I necessarily set out to do the water industry to begin with, but now that I'm here, I think it's really rewarding. Um, and you do, like actually make a difference in your career.
It seemed like it made a difference. There was like things you can do one week and come back and realize the effects of it like the next. Whereas at my old job, it was just like production line. It's like a cog in the machine. Here, you have like an actual impact.
First, it just starts with that mission, to protect human health and the environment by cleaning water and recovering resources. It's really identifiable. Are the people who stay here and want to come here? That's a big driver. Being a guardian for a community is a really satisfying thing for a lot of folks. So we just constantly remind ourselves that we're doing important work and we're protecting people. And that, in an age where satisfaction seems to be moment by moment when it comes to, what you're just inundated with, that is a core thing you can stand on. You just go home every night and say, I protected somebody.
It seems like kind of a generic answer to just say get involved, but that really is one of the most important things. Like there's a community of water professionals that's out there, and in most states, I think it's very public, and you can get engaged with that. You can volunteer for different events. You can just go to the events and try to meet people and network. There, I think there's a big hesitancy from people who are curious about this to just call up a utility and say, hey, I'd like to know more about your organization. Could I come tour it? Me and my family, or just me want to tour a wastewater facility. Would you be able to help out? I'm curious about this industry.
Maybe even give a tour. Like that would help. Because nobody thinks about this until they're actually on site.
Yeah.
Nobody, they see this place from the outside, like driving by, and it's like, oh, it's just a water treatment plant. But if you come in here, it's like a living organism. You get on the A basin, you see the digesters, and then you can even follow the product to the crops or to the farms, and that's pretty cool too.
I think it'll create some challenges, especially in the knowledge transfer. But I also see it as a opportunity as it'll like open doors up for me as far as like taking responsibility and in my career. But yeah, I'm just committed to learning from all the experienced operators and engineers as much as I can. Just try and get ready to step up whenever the industry needs me to step up.
You get to move up pretty quickly. So there's not necessarily like this huge gap where you have to have 30 years of experience to be a manager. Um, so if you're interested in that type of thing, it is kind of a really cool opportunity to be able to take on uh, more responsibility in a quick time frame. And it kind of seems like that's a lot of just engineering in general. We have a ridiculous amount of work in the country, not just in water and everything, and not enough people to do it. So those that are willing to can and will.
Many opportunities within the water industry don't require an advanced degree. Oftentimes, only a high school diploma is needed. Much of the training is provided on the job. Among all U.S. occupations, only 32.5% of workers have a high school degree or less. Within the water industry, that's 53%. Despite the low barrier to entry, people within the water industry are well compensated for the important work that they provide. On average, water workers earn higher wages compared to all workers nationally. That's especially true at the 10th, 25th, and 50th percentile wages, but is still true even up to the 75th percentile.
If you would like to learn more about the water industry and possible career options, check out this QR code, which will take you to a site with additional information.